Ninetales Chakra Mode. This transformation has been a series staple since its introduction in Chapter 499, and has been given many alternate names by members of the fanbase, most notably Kurama Chakra Mode, Kyuubi Chakra Mode, often shortened to KCM, and Bijuu Mode. As the name of this transformation implies, this is an ability that can only be accessed by Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tailed Fox, and is not a transformation that any of the hosts of the other 8-tailed beasts have access to, making it a particularly rare ability. This is especially true considering how stingy Kurama tends to be about working together with the Jinchuriki he is sealed inside of, since it's very rare for anybody to convince the fox to give them the cooperation they need from him to access this form in the first place. Most of the time, when Kurama shares his chakra with somebody, they will transform into one of 3 basic states that all Jinchuriki have access to. Naruto has transformed into the version 0, version 1, and version 2 forms, all with Kurama's help before, so I guess it is worth noting that the Kyuubi's hosts can access the same basic transformations that other Jinchuriki can, but I'd also like to clarify that, at least in a fundamental sense anyway, this transformation has absolutely nothing to do with the Ninetales Chakra Mode. From what I can gather, this is a completely distinct transformation, and is what a Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tailed Fox gets in exchange for Tailed Beast Mode, or the ability to transform into one's Tailed Beast. It's also worth noting that, in the cases of the basic Jinchuriki transformations, Naruto showed no level of control over the power he gained after transforming, or when he would transform to begin with. This is of course due to the fact that he and Kurama weren't on good terms, but while gaining control over one's Tailed Beast would normally allow them to access the version 1 and 2 forms freely, gaining control over the Ninetales seems to give a person access to this form instead, which leads me to believe that it's more powerful than any of the other Jinchuriki transformations. After all, Jinchuriki of the Ninetales can enter the version 1 and 2 states, and they can even transform into the Nine-Tailed Fox itself, so the fact that both Naruto and Minato decided to use this form over all of the rest, I mean, you kinda have to assume that there are some pretty substantial advantages to using it. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get to explaining how this transformation works. First of all, it's segregated into 3 different stages, and while each of these stages have pretty distinct differences, they all do share quite a few common traits with one another. In the first level of the transformation, or what is often referred to as KCM1, the user will be enveloped in a golden yellow cloak of chakra. A person does undergo plenty of other smaller physical changes when they transform into this state, but they're all pretty obvious and I doubt you need them pointed out to you. Things like the orange eyes and flaming aura are pretty easy to spot, but a pretty significant characteristic of the transformation that I do feel is worth pointing out is the appearance of the 6 Yagatama markings around the neck reminiscent of the Sage of 6 Paths. Anyhow, setting aesthetics aside, let's talk about the abilities that this transformation gives a person access to. Obviously, the form increases a person's physical attributes, but it does so by a much greater margin than you may expect. In this form, Naruto became fast enough to dodge a punch from the 4th Raikage at full speed, durable enough to tank the Jubi's Tenpen Chi attack, and strong enough to go toe-to-toe with multiple Kage-level opponents. Additionally, in this state, he has enough chakra to create dozens of shadow clones, all with Kage-level strength. This isn't really debatable. One of Naruto's clones fought with the 3rd Raikage and the 2nd Tsuchikage, and still managed to survive long enough to fight with Madara for an extended period of time. Even after creating all of these shadow clones, all of which used up pretty much all of their chakra, Naruto still had enough of his own chakra to go toe-to-toe with 6 Jinchuriki at once with the help of B. Now, this was only possible because Naruto was drawing from the Kyuubi's immense reserves of chakra, which brings me to one of the form's initial drawbacks. While in the Ninetales Chakra mode, Naruto does something that the series describes as shelving his own chakra, or in other words, letting it rest dormant within his body. Since when Naruto first took the transformation, he and the Ninetales weren't the best of friends. There always existed a pretty large risk that Kurama would try and take Naruto's shelved chakra while he was in this state, meaning that the longer he used this transformation, the longer he was at risk of being killed. Furthermore, since Naruto doesn't pour his own chakra into this state, that means being able to use this transformation relies entirely on whether or not the Kyuubi still has any chakra left. If the Nine-Tailed Fox runs out of chakra, Naruto can't access this transformation anymore. However, as the series has clearly shown us, it takes a very long time for this to happen, so it's not too much of an issue. The only other issue with Naruto's initial use of this transformation is his inability to create a tailed beast ball due to Kurama's unwillingness to cooperate with him. This isn't exactly a drawback, since it's not like Naruto could create a tailed beast ball before transforming into the Ninetales Chakra mode. It's just a bit of a crappy result of Kurama being really stingy. Anyhow, these problems are all pretty nicely offset by all of the extra capabilities this transformation has, extending even beyond the physical buffs it offers. In this form, Naruto is able to sense negative emotions, which he was able to use to distinguish the Zetsu disguised as members of the allied shinobi forces from their real counterparts. Additionally, Naruto's body practically reeks of natural energy in this form, and the wood release chakra present in many of the reinforced Zetsu that he fought reacted to this by forming trees out of practically nothing. The most useful ability that Naruto gains access to when in the Ninetales Chakra mode is the ability to create an almost unlimited number of arms and hands that he can can extend from any part of the cloak surrounding him. He has full control over the size and movements of these chakra arms, and has a nearly unlimited amount of applications for them as a result. Not only are they incredibly useful for long-range melee combat, but these additional limbs enhance Naruto's abilities with the Rasengan by a ridiculous amount. The craziest Rasengan-based ability that Naruto develops as a result of gaining access to these arms is the ability to create a mini Rasen Shuriken on the tip of his finger by sprouting arms out of its side. Now, I don't know how many of these abilities Minato gains access to in his Ninetales Chakra mode, but I imagine he can do everything Naruto can, especially considering he actually has the cooperation of his half of the Nine-Tailed Fox. The next level of the Ninetales Chakra mode is officially named Kurama mode, but is typically referred to as KCM2, and is what Naruto gains access to after he and the fox end up on friendly terms, and he learns that the Nine-Tailed Fox's name is Kurama. I won't bother explaining the visual differences between KCM1 and KCM2, since you can clearly see them for yourself, and the differences between the two forms are obvious and accentuated enough that it's easy to distinguish which is one and which is the other. The most important differences lie in KCM2's abilities, and there are quite a few distinct ones that make this a good deal more powerful than the previous stage. For starters, since Naruto now has the Nine-Tails cooperation, he's able to create a tailed beast ball, and a bijuu-dama created by somebody using the Nine-Tails Chakra mode is no joke. Even with only half of the kyuubi sealed inside of him, Naruto was able to create a bijuu-dama capable of deflecting 5 other bijuu-dama at the same time. Furthermore, Naruto can compress the tailed beast ball into what he calls the super mini tailed beast ball, which he can use to deal massive damage at close range. He can also project it forward, as he can with the Rasengan, by using the arms he can create while in the Nine-Tails Chakra mode. Another miscellaneous skill he gains access to is the ability to share Kurama's chakra with anybody in the immediate vicinity. This causes them to enter a state similar to the one-tailed version 1 cloak Naruto accessed in the final valley against Sasuke, which, needless to say, makes anybody affected by it significantly more powerful. That's really impressive considering Naruto used this ability on every member of the allied shinobi forces, and they all got a significant power boost. In terms of everything else, KCM2 is just like KCM1 except better. It's like a compressed version of the full-tailed beast mode that most Jinchuriki can access, giving Naruto access to the increased agility, control, and precision that come with his smaller size, but also giving him access to the raw power that comes with transforming into a tailed beast. Additionally, Naruto can manifest parts of Kurama's body while in this form anyway, such as when he manifested Kurama's head to catch a shuriken in between its teeth, or when he manifested Kurama's tails to block one of Obito's fire release jutsu. So as you can tell, KCM2 is quite a bit more powerful than KCM1 is, and I do mean this of course in terms of raw physical capabilities. Naruto is faster, more powerful, more durable, etc, etc. This is especially advantageous when considering the fact that since Naruto and the Nine-Tails are both working in tandem now, Kurama no longer has any reason to disrupt Naruto's chakra out of spite. This means that Naruto can enter Sage mode freely while in KCM2. Furthermore, Naruto claims that it's even easier to gather natural energy while in this state than it is in his base form. And while I doubt I need to tell you, but stacking the physical and sensory buffs provided by Sage mode on top of those already provided by KCM2 makes Naruto into a total monster. And this isn't even Naruto's limit in the Nine-Tails Chakra mode. The third stage of the Nine-Tails Chakra mode is its counterpart to Tailed Beast mode, and it allows a person to transform into the Nine-Tailed Fox without actually transforming into it. Instead of actually becoming the kyuubi, Naruto and Minato conjure avatars with the same size and shape as Kurama. This stage of the transformation has very similar mechanics to the Susanoo, as its user will be suspended within and will move with the avatar they have created, though of course it has no resemblance to the Susanoo at all, and instead looks like a blend between the chakra cloak created by the Nine-Tails Chakra mode and the kyuubi itself. Since this avatar is a full-scale replica of the Nine-Tailed Fox, for all intents and purposes, a user of this transformation has full control over the Nine-Tails, with the added benefit that they can use any ninjutsu that they have at their disposal as well. For example, Naruto and Minato combine their powers to create a humongous Rasengan while transformed into this state. Not to mention, Naruto is still able to stack Sage mode on top of this form as well. Furthermore, this transformation can be combined with the Susanoo through Majestic Attire Susanoo, a technique that allows a Mangekyo Sharingan user to cloak the kyuubi avatar in Susanoo armor. This is a technique that Naruto and Sasuke have used on multiple occasions, and one that practically mirrors Madara's use of a similar ability where he used his perfect Susanoo as armor for the actual Nine-Tailed Fox. Finally, Naruto does retain the ability to enter the Nine-Tails Chakra mode while using Six Paths Sage mode, and through the use of Shadow Clones was able to use the traits of Six Paths Sage mode to combine 3 Kurama avatars into one 3-headed, 6-armed behemoth of a creature, one that practically mirrored the avatar Ashura created during his battle against Indra. I do think I'm gonna save explaining how Nine-Tails Chakra mode interacts with Six Paths Sage mode for when I do a Six Paths Senjutsu video, so hey, be on the lookout for that. So with all that said, I think I'm gonna end the video here. Hopefully I covered pretty much everything important, though if you do have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And as always, if you have any ideas for future video topics you want me to cover, feel free to leave a comment with any requests you may have. Of course, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that like button if you enjoyed the video. And if you really love me, you can check the description for the links to my Twitter account and my Patreon. But either way, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Talk to you later. Swagkage out. Bye.